So now, as we are able to interact on this topic of equivalent circuit of a transformer, so we are able to, I can say, derive an equations wherein we are able to transfer the component from secondary to primary, primary to secondary to perform a good mathematical analysis. Okay, so when we will be solving numerical on this topic, we will really appreciate this particular concept, how it allows us to compute the value of efficiency and a voltage regulation and define what is the performance of our transformer, what is the efficiency of our transformer. Okay, so now we will be defining one important topic related to this transformer, something called as losses in a transformer. Okay, losses in a transformer, losses in a transformer. Now, let me say that this topic is too related for my next topic, which is called efficiency of a transformer. Okay, so normally, whenever I think I might have suggested this example prior as well, which I would like to reiterate, which is I would like to state it something like this. Now, whenever if some XYZ student is been asked whether the student is a good student or not, then some parameters they are going to influence in order to decide whether the student is a good student or not. They'll be saying that whether he's attending the classes regularly or not, whether he is able to submit the assignments in time or not, how is his behavior, then how is his, I can say that performance in examination. So these are all the parameters that you are going to consider, and you are going to define a student as a good student or a bad student, right? So like that, so whenever I want to say that what is the performance of my transformer, then in that case there are some parameters which influence, such as the first one, what is its efficiency, what is its efficiency. Second thing, what is its voltage regulation. So these are the few parameters which defines what is the status of a transformer, what is the healthiness of a transformer, what will be the impact of that transformer in a long duration. Now, whenever I want to talk about the efficiency of a transformer, then losses of a transformer plays a very, very, very important role. Losses of a transformer will play a very important role. Now, I know that if at all if I'm talking about losses in a transformer, so there are basically two types of losses that occurs in a transformer. One, we call it as a core loss or nothing but an iron loss. The first loss, we call it as iron loss, and a second loss, we call it as a copper loss. Copper loss. Iron loss is being denoted by Wi, iron loss, and copper loss is being denoted by WCU. Copper loss is being denoted by WCU. Okay, this iron loss is a loss that occurs in the magnetic part of the circuit. Iron loss is the loss which occurs in the magnetic part in the circuit. So this iron loss is again classified into two losses. One, it is called as a hysteresis loss. One, it is called as hysteresis loss, and one more loss, which is called as an eddy current loss. Eddy current loss. So one is hysteresis loss and eddy current loss. So these two they have been defined under iron losses in a transformer. Iron losses in a transformer. So what is hysteresis loss? What is this eddy current loss? This we will talk in short now. So we'll also consider how this copper loss can be again further been classified. So this copper loss can be classified as the amount of copper loss what is going to occur on the primary winding, and what is the amount of copper loss that is going to occur onto the secondary winding. Now, so first let me start from this copper loss itself. This copper loss is also called as I square R loss. Is also called as I square R loss. Okay. Now since the primary winding is comprising of some internal resistance, nothing but your R1, and similarly the secondary winding is comprising of the internal resistance of the winding, something called as R2. So since a resistance is there on primary, a resistance is there on secondary, so copper loss is going to occur both on primary winding as well as on the secondary winding. So the copper loss that occurs on the primary winding is being given by I1 square R1, I1 square R1, and the copper loss that occurs on the secondary winding is being given by I2 square R2. But when I have made an equivalent circuit, I'm able to say that my I2 square R2 is almost or is completely equal to I1 square R1 dash. Sorry, R2 dash. I1 square R dash. Then the total copper loss will be equal to I1 square R1 plus I1 square R2 dash. If I take I1 common outside, what that will be getting? R1 plus R2 dash, which is equal to I1 square, this is nothing but my R01. Okay, I1 square R01. So this is how I can use equivalent circuit parameters to compute what is the losses in my transformer. What is the copper losses in my transformer? To be more specific. Okay, so it means the copper loss, it is occurring in my transformer because of the windings. This copper loss is occurring in my transformer because of the windings. As windings are made up of copper, so it possesses some internal resistance. So because of that resistance, you can witness the copper loss on primary winding and copper loss on secondary winding. Okay, then when I come to this iron loss, as I have already stated prior as well, that iron loss can be classified into two parts. One is a hysteresis loss, and one more it is eddy current loss. So where is this eddy current loss is going to occur? So as you know that in case of a transformer, it is made up of n number of laminations. So let me saying that if I'm having this as an element, if I'm having this thickness of this sheets, what I'm having now as one element. Okay, so this is being stacked, or it is being chopped into n number of lamination. So this is lamination 1, lamination 2, lamination 3, like this. So there are many laminations. Later what I'm going to do, I'm going to again join them, okay, and I'm going to scatter it, which means I'm going to press it in order to make this as one element or one entity. Now you may be feeling, sir, you are doing some double work. It was basically one entity only. What you have done, you have chopped it into several halves, or let me say you have just taken a skinny layer of that particular element, and again you are joining it. Then what's the use of that? Then I can say, my dear student, when it was prior as one element like this, a thickness of this element was more. Since thickness was more, the eddy current loss, it will be more. The eddy current loss is going to be more. Now, in order to reduce this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to chop it. Don't worry, I cannot chop my finger. So I need to chop this. So when I chop it, I'll be getting some n number of such particular laminations. Lamination 1, lamination 2. Further, again, I'm going to join it so that thickness of each element will be in terms of mm. Each element, each lamination will be in terms of mm. So since thickness has got reduced, so this is how I can control the iron losses, or more specifically the eddy current loss and hysteresis loss onto my transformer. Now, normally when it comes to this hysteresis curve, as been stated, before choosing any magnetic material, I need to prefer my BH curve. So you'll be getting the response somewhat like this. So this is a BH curve for one magnetic material. So let me call this as M1, and I'll be having one more response of one more magnetic material. So let me call this as my M2. And if you see here, what is the difference between M1 and M2? So this is one magnetic material, some XYZ material. Similarly, this is M2, one more magnetic material. So I can simply say the difference between this M1 and M2 is area under the curve. So here you can see here, area under the curve is less over here, and area under the curve is more over here. Then you may ask, sir, why are you interested in this area under the curve? This area under the curve is going to decide what is the amount of the magnetic loss, hysteresis loss is going to occur. So if area under the curve is more, then hysteresis loss is more. If area under the curve is less, hysteresis loss is less. Then which kind of element are you going to choose? You will be choosing a magnetic material too. Then you'll be feeling that, sir, in that case these magnetic materials are not at all being used. Then I can say, my dear student, we are always going to compromise between area under the curve and the losses. Why? If you are going for a magnetic material whose BH curve is very small, it means cost of this kind of material is very high. Losses are more, efficiency will be high, so cost of this material will be high. But whereas this case, since losses are more, efficiency will be high. If at all if this material is being used to construct a transformer, then cost will be naturally less. Then I can say that we are going to balance this selection of this magnetic material. I hope you are able to understand it. Okay, so this is how we'll be using this concept in order to define the losses in a transformer. So you need to just remember that the losses in a transformer are of two types. One is iron loss, one more is copper loss. So iron loss is of two types: hysteresis loss and eddy current loss. Copper loss, they occur at two sectors in a circuit. One is on the primary winding, one more it is on the secondary winding. Now a very important topic or a point that I would like to mention over here is that this iron loss, it depends upon frequency, it depends upon volume, it depends upon thickness, it depends upon magnetic field intensity or magnetic field density. So if you observe these parameters, what are they? Frequency of the given supply, it is constant. Volume, once the I can say that machine is constructed, its volume will remain the same. Thickness of the laminations, once being used, it will remain same. Magnetic field density, even it's a constant parameter. Since your iron loss depends on frequency, volume, thickness, magnetic field density, which are all the constant parameters, your iron loss is said to be as a constant loss. Very important. It can also be called as a constant loss. But if you see the copper loss, it depends upon whom? Two parameters, I and R. Whether the resistance of the winding will change? No. Resistance is a constant parameter. Then what about the current? Current depends upon the load. If load is more, I2 is more. If I2 is more, it makes I1 more. So it means this I is a variable quantity. This I is a variable quantity. Since I is a variable quantity, I can simply say that this copper loss is also called as a variable loss. This copper loss is also called as a variable loss. Okay, so these terms are very important. So whenever you'll be interacting in your basic electrical engineering lab, at that time they will sure ask this question: why this iron loss is called as a constant loss, and why is the copper loss called as a variable loss? Okay, so you have to just say that it depends upon the parameters such as frequency, volume, thickness, and magnetic field density, which are all the constant parameters. Hence, this iron loss is called as a constant loss. But since copper loss depends upon the current, since current being the variable quantity in the circuit, which depends upon the nature and type of the load, so this current, since it is variable, so this loss is also called as a variable loss. Okay, is it clear to you? Okay. So I just want now all the students, if at all if are having any queries as such, then you can ask the question. Okay. Meanwhile, I want all the 58 students who are attending this session to write their name and send as a group chat, or write your name in the group chat. Attendance will be seriously monitored. So I want everyone to write their name and send me a group chat. I want all 58. Later, I don't want any problem that, sir, I attended the session as such. You write your name, roll number, and section as your other friends are doing it. I'll be waiting for your complete completion. Okay. So I hope everyone has responded. Okay. So if there are any queries, you can ask the questions. If there are any queries, you can ask questions. If not, we can wind up a session. So tomorrow's concept, that is the efficiency of a transformer, will be a last theoretical topic that we'll be discussing on this bit. After which we will be starting to, or will be working on numerical section of this topic. Okay.